Motivational talking. Yeah? Ready. Ready. I'm orange. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everybody doing? Join us in Miami TV once again with another beautiful Jenny Live. I am nice and tan today. Wow. Hola, David. Hey, David. How are you? Welcome. So I invented something new today. We're going to be live in social media, and then our members are gonna have a special special stream. So if you guys want to talk about anything in particular, please let me know. If not, we will continue with our mental training that we were doing these past couple of days, and I will answer you live. So I know that I've left some comments without answering, so I'm going to answer yesterday's. The only question that I remember was about jealousy. What do I do with a jealous girlfriend? Oh my God. ¿Cómo están? Anybody but me. Hello, West Tennessee. All right, guys. So to answer that one person in particular that was talking about his girlfriend. What do you do? Hi, caveman. I'm doing wonderful. How are you? What do you do with a jealous girlfriend or boyfriend? You know, it could go either way. Well, jealousy is a part of insecurity. So I think if you want to help the person progress, remember that the reason why we get into relationships to begin with is to help each other become better persons. I mean, that's the whole purpose of relationships. I know that most of you have never really thought of it like that, but that's exactly what it is. So when you see somebody that's in that point of not allowing you to do something because they're insecure with themselves or they're afraid that you're going to leave them for somebody else, maybe you can actually face that and see what it is that they're going through or what it is that they've been going through that is making them that insecure about themselves, right? So it could be something from their childhood. It could be something from a past relationship. I mean, remember that if you're dating somebody that's been what do you call it? That's been going through an unfaithful situation or past relationships where they've gotten cheated on. Obviously, that's not going to help you much. So that's why I always recommend, and it's important to make sure that you find out who it is that you get involved with. Okay, so know a little bit about. You're on your bike listening to me. Wow, amazing! I hope you have an amazing bike ride. Venezolano y en Brasil. Hola, José. Veo todos tus videos. Sabes que eres dueña de mi corazón. Ay, gracias. Qué rico. That's awesome that you're bike riding and listening to me. I was very excited about the podcast idea. So I'm like, why not? We talk about so many interesting things. Okay, back to jealousy. So, I don't think anybody deserves to be in a relationship where jealousy takes over and you're not allowed to do anything, because when a person becomes jealous, then eventually if you allow them to be jealous, they end up being possessive. And all of a sudden, a couple of months or even years after, you're going to realize, oh, wait, I no longer have control of my decisions. I no longer have I'm no longer free. I mean, we don't get into relationships to be possessed or to be owned by somebody else. And unfortunately, when you have someone next to you that has all of these traits that come from a past that they have to fix about themselves, you're going to suffer the consequences, okay? So can we take a little bit of the orange out of my face? I feel like I'm like a Loompa Loompa right now. I don't know if you guys see me, but I'm like super orange. I mean, I'm tan, you guys, but I'm not this tan. Anyway, so just face it, you know, and say, okay, why did you give that person any reason for them to be jealous about you to begin with? So if you're somebody that has already made a mistake, right? If you're someone that has already lost the trust of your partner, then that's one thing, and that's something that you should definitely consider, because I think that it's for some people, they go through the forgiveness aspect of things, but you never forget. You know how they say you forgive, but you don't forget. So it's really, really difficult to get back on track on like nothing ever happened. I mean, even if a person tells you, oh, it's in the past, inevitably it's still going to be in the bottom of their heart and the back of their mind at some point or another. So this is something that you're going to have to face. If you lost your couple's trust for whatever reason, then you got to do everything in your power to get it back. And if you really see that it's not helping, that whatever you do is not doing anything in particular to actually make it better, then maybe it's just time for you to move on. Because imagine, how much time do you really have to spend with somebody to be patient and wait for them to trust you again? It's really, really difficult for relationships to come back from infidelities, for example, or to come back from moments where trust was just not was just lost overall. Guys, I will read you, so if you send me comments, I will read you live. So yeah, go ahead and have that conversation with your partner and figure out why it is that they're feeling this way. And if it's something that has to do with them, particularly about a past that they've had, then of course you have to just lay it out there and say, if somebody did something to you before, it doesn't mean that everybody's the same. Not all men and not all women are the same. You can never generalize. We're so unique and so different. And at the same case, we're different because we've been through different situations. So we can only be the best version of ourselves up to the standards which we put ourselves into due to the things that we've been going through in our lives. So I always say, you can't expect somebody to understand a particular topic if they've never lived it before, okay? So I think insecurity is something that haunts and taunts a lot of people. I mean, the other day we were speaking about nudity in particular, and I think insecurity, same thing. People that can't stand seeing a boob, for example. And it's like, well, if you love yourself and your body, then it shouldn't be that bad to somebody else feel the same way about their body and be naked, right? But no, there's such a high percentage of people with insecurities because whatever it is that they've been through in life have made them this way. So be patient. If you really love the person and they're being jealous with you, then maybe just balance out the situation and say, well, do I love this person? Is it can I be patient enough to deal with the situation of this jealousy that is obviously suffocating? Because I think that once you allow someone to be jealous and act upon that jealousy towards you, you've kind of opened a door, right? It's like, so when the person sees, if it's a girlfriend or boyfriend that you're just starting to date, when they see that you're not doing anything about it and you're not standing up for yourself and your beliefs and your rights as a human, and it's like, no, I want to do this. No, you can't go out with your friends. Why not? Well, no logical reason, just because I say that you can't go out with your friends, because that person is jealous. They're afraid that they might lose you. They're afraid that you might go off with somebody else. So I think being blunt about it and just saying, listen, if this is going to be something that's going to be taken seriously, then if there's no trust, there's no relationship. It's as simple as that. I think that our life is so short. Saludos, Ricardo. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenidos, Mexico. Our life is, hi, Mohammed. Thank you. Colorful says beauty. Hi, Ricardo. Thank you. A long time ago, I did have a girlfriend named Marianne. Ironically, she is now my neighbor. Oh, wow. And we broke up 4 different times. 4 times. Oh, well, at least you gave each other a chance, So I think four times is more than enough chances to see if, it worked out or not. But sometimes my parents used to take marriage counseling. But that's great. I think that it takes a lot of guts for people to really face the mirror and say, we need counseling. But I don't know who I was talking about this with the other day, and we were like, man, therapists are so overrated. I mean, or failed actually. Like, how good is therapy? For some people it works, but I think that if people really realize that you can be your own therapist, and there's no better therapist than yourself, and you could save so much money, by the way. But yeah, it's important to know if you need counseling or you need somebody to listen to you or you need some advice. I think that's great. But at the same time, yeah, just be careful where you're going. Hola Jenny, buenas noches. Hello, how are you? Hope our headshot only in YouTube is brilliant. Because I realize we've been only doing headshots in YouTube, so I'm like, why not? Okay, what else? The camera, so we're doing an uncensored version for our members. So we're gonna do, this is how we're gonna do our YouTubes now. The important thing is the messages, right? Fireflies are all around me. Oh. Beautiful. So going back to the jealousy, yeah, face the insecurity, face the issues that are going through. That's where I was going. Okay, I think that our life is so short that is it really worth it spending it with somebody, no matter how long this is going for, right? If it's a couple of weeks, a couple of months, or a year, or more than a year. I mean, how long can you really be in a relationship where you're no longer in control of your own decisions? Okay, so it's different when you're deciding things together, when it's, you know, you each of you give your opinion and you come out with a positive outcome and kind of meet in the middle. But overall, nobody should have a right, even if they're your husband or wife, they shouldn't have a right to say you must do this, right? Or you're going to do this, or I'm getting divorced. I mean, I think you should never allow anybody to have that kind of power on you. And if you have, then, well, if you don't mind it, some people really don't mind. Some people are so laid back and chill that they could have a husband and a wife, you know, pushing them around all the time, and they're happy that way. So if you're this kind of person, great. But if you're not this kind of person, you're really going to suffer, and it's going to limit your spiritual growth. It's going to limit your growth as a human being. And I think that basically beats the reason of a relationship to begin with, right? I mean, aren't we in a relationship to become better people, to become better together? So have this conversation. There's nothing better than communication. If you can have this conversation with your partner and say, listen, I don't want to be censored. I don't want you to shut me down. You're not my mother. You're not my, you know, you have no control over me. If we're in this relationship, we're in it as individuals, right? Where we each have our own tastes. We each have our own likes and dislikes in the sense of hobbies. Maybe one of you loves to do sports and the other one loves to, I don't know, do ballet. Like total separate, right? But you understand each other, and you understand that you come from totally different backgrounds, totally different, maybe even countries or cultures. What about cultures? What about religions? What if you fall in love with somebody that has a totally different religion? Are you going to force them into your religion? I mean, well, you do what you want, of course. If somebody allows you to do that and they love you that much, then amazing. But if not, then I think that relationships are for us to be individuals and unite, right? To become one and to become better and to become stronger. But if you don't do that, and if that relationship that you're in right now is not helping you in absolutely anything, like you need to do that balance and say, well, am I a better person with this person next to me? Do I have the support that I need, the mental, emotional support? Okay, or are they the type of person that is always going to say, "Oh, you're good for nothing"? So you really need to balance out these things. And if you have somebody next to you that's toxic, you know what? They need to figure out their toxicity. Maybe without you. And if the day of tomorrow you're really meant to be and you both work each other's dramas out, you will come back and be together. But in the meantime, is it really worth to waste? Oh, there I am. Wait, no, now I'm gray. No, almost. I love the playing with colors. There you go. Now I look more normal. my Oompa Loompa face. If you guys are hearing this, it's because I was really orange. Javier, hola. Sinceramente me fascina ver tus vivos. Cada día te ves más hermosa. Gracias, Javier. Bueno, hablando de relaciones, ¿cuántos de ustedes permiten de que su pareja los controle? Hablábamos de los celos, de dónde provienen los celos, por qué. Obviamente sabemos de que es la inseguridad que tienen las personas. Yo les puedo decir una cosa. Nunca permitan que alguien los controle, nunca permitan que alguien, no pueden tener dueño, nadie es dueño de nada, nadie debería ser dueño de nadie. Entonces, en el momento que alguien intenta demostrar celos en una relación, si tú lo permites, hasta ahí llegaste, o sea, sonaste. Porque en el momento que lo permitiste, la persona se va a dar cuenta y va a decir, ah, bueno, entonces puedo salirme con la mía. Y en realidad, ¿por qué tienes que tú pagar por la inseguridad y la falla mental en realidad de otra persona? Yo era una persona súper celosa cuando era adolescente, era tóxica, era terrible. Hoy en día pienso y digo, Dios mío. Ni yo me aguantaba, creo. Pero bueno, son cosas que, y claro, porque estaba llena de traumas, estaba llena de situaciones que tenía que limpiar, que tenía que sacar de mi vida. Pero también me daba cuenta de que atraía al mismo tipo de personas, atraía a personas tóxicas. Entonces sí les puedo decir, como una persona que fue celosa en algún momento, que con la seguridad viene la seguridad en absolutamente todo. El otro día hablábamos del nudismo, ¿no? De cómo puede ser de que hay personas que ven un pezón todavía y es como que ¡ah! Entonces eso tiene que ver con la seguridad también. Did you say toxic? I saw the word on packages of crayons a long time ago, but I said non-toxic. Right? I miss orange. Entonces, tienen que tener una comunicación. ¿Por qué? Hello, Philip. ¿Por qué existe celos si tú fuiste el causante de esos celos, si fuiste el causante de que pues no confíen más en ti, entonces vas a tener que hacer algo al respecto para poder arreglarlo, obviamente. Pero de lo contrario, si no hay razón por la cual alguien tiene que ser celoso de ti porque estás demostrando seguridad en la relación, ¿realmente vale la pena estar en una relación tóxica de esa manera? O sea, ¿vale la pena estar en un lugar donde tú tienes que sacar un análisis, ¿no? Y decir, a ver, ¿esta persona me está ayudando a ser mejor persona? Cuando algo pasa mal, ¿es un apoyo o es todo lo contrario, donde me dicen, no servís para nada? Cuando estoy triste, ¿me consuela? O me dice que sea un hombre y que no demuestre esa parte, ¿no? Entonces, tenés que hacer un balance y darte cuenta, bueno, ¿qué es lo que quieres para tu vida? Porque una relación tendría que ser en conjunto algo para poder crecer juntos, ¿no? O sea, para poder mejorarse los dos como personas mutuamente. Esa es la razón por la cual tendríamos que unirnos en pareja. De lo contrario, mejor solo que mal acompañado. O sea, la frase te lo dice, es muy popular y muy normal y es tal cual. Hello, thank you. Interesting name. Hola, hola. So yeah, I think if you start to value yourself first, and I think that's where we want to get to. We've been talking about mental health lately, and I think mental health, security about yourself, and seguridad, no, like confidence in yourself, are steps that you need to work on yourself. And you know what? You're going to realize that once you start valuing yourself more, you're not going to suffer much for those people that leave you, and you're not going to suffer much if you have to leave a relationship, because you're going to put yourself above that person. You're going to put yourself above the situation overall. So if you have to go through a harsh breakup that you really don't want to, but you don't want to be stuck in that relationship, and you don't want to be stuck in that mental state where nothing is happening for you because you're not becoming a better person, because all you're doing is just sinking into drama and hatred and jealousy and toxicity. Is that even a word? Toxicity? Toxic situations. So Ashbar, hi, how are you? Good evening, Tata. How are you? Welcome, guys. Have you ever had a toxic relationship? Let me know. Hi, Blueberry. Oh, I love that, blueberries. I love blueberries. And yeah, have you ever? And if you have, I think everybody's been through that. But once you start to realize that you are very valuable, you are a wonderful human being, you deserve everything you have, good and bad, because remember that even the bad stuff we deserve, because it's karma that we have to pay for the most part, not always. But 98% of the time, we go through negative situations because we put ourselves there. So even a toxic relationship, why did you attract this kind of person to begin with? There's probably, most likely, something about you that is also toxic. Maybe it's not the jealousy part. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's that you're insecure in other things about yourself. Maybe it's that you're too submissive, that you don't believe that you are valuable enough to stand up for yourself. Okay, because normally people that do allow jealousy and commanding in a relationship are the ones that normally need that extra push in their life, in their persona, to be able to really say no more. Like this is it. All right, I don't need you. I don't need this. And in fact, none of us need any kind of negativity. None of us need any kind of drama from the person that we decide to live with, that we decide to spend all of our hours or all of our life with them. So if you're in a situation like this, you need to communicate this and say, listen, either we move forward and making this work because we make a good team, or maybe we'll just be happier with somebody else, or we'll be happier separated, where we can both find ourselves, where we can both find what it is that we need to fix about ourselves and become better people. But if you don't do it, it's basically just wasting time. I've noticed, I was saying in Spanish, I was a super toxic person when I was a teenager, and I was very jealous. Like, I was very insecure. And you could say, well, you have nothing to be insecure about. I was very insecure. I mean, like in all levels. So I know what it's like to feel that rage and that jealousy and that insecurity of, does this person want me, or are they going to leave you for somebody else? And then, of course, today, you know, looking back, because I've grown so much as a person and spiritually, that you realize, wow, how far have you come? And you know what? It feels so good to see how your version, right, the version of yourself just continues to amplify. And that light that you have continues to get brighter and better and bigger. And the brighter it gets, the more you can share with other people. It's that simple. So it's emotion control at the end of the day. You know, jealousy and insecurity is having negativity inside of you, having negativity around you, not being able to control these emotions and thoughts, and they just burst out. And the first thing that happens is, well, if you can create this peak of negativity by expressing jealousy in a relationship in a very drastic way, right? I'm not saying like the type of jealousy that it's like, oh, you know, like the little jealousy, it's cute, but we're talking about like the toxic kind of jealousy. If that's happening, it's basically because you have stuff you need to get rid of. And I know, because I've lived it, and it's so overwhelming sometimes that you can't control it, because it just kind of pops out, and it's like this ogre that comes out that you can't really control. And that's what happens when negativity just basically not covers, but invades your body. And this happens because of maybe environments that you're hanging out around, or people that surround you, or situations that you've been through, or causes to effects. Affects the causes. San Paulo, hola. También los celos son o sea, hablando de la inseguridad, ¿no? Todo eso tiene que ver con la energía negativa y energía tóxica. Si tú estás en situaciones de que no puedes controlar esas emociones, y me dices, pero es que yo no quiero ser celoso, no quiero ser celosa, pero es que me nace de adentro. Te nace porque es energía negativa que estás lamentablemente juntando, que has acumulado, y simplemente pues no has hecho nada al respecto para poder liberarte de ella. Entonces yo lo sé porque cuando yo era adolescente, como les decía, bien tóxica que era, y me veo hoy en día, y todos los años era un progreso, todos los años era como que, wow, es tan bonito ver el progreso personal de uno mismo, y poder hablarlo así, ¿no? Porque ya uno lo superó y lo pasó, pero entiendo muy bien lo que sienten las personas que son celosos o celosas, y entiendo muy bien de que son emociones y son rencores y son energías que no corresponden a nuestro cuerpo, que simplemente tenemos que aprender a liberarlas de alguna forma u otra, a enfrentar esos demonios, a enfrentar esas situaciones que nos han pasado, que tenemos que sacarnos de encima, pero más que nada enfrentarlas, porque si no la enfrentas y simplemente continúas como que tapándolas con arena y ahí se va juntando el montículo, pues no vas a hacer nada al respecto, ¿no? And you can't cover up stuff, okay? So if you say, my problem is jealousy, or my problem is whatever it is, right? In your trait or personality, you have that X of a problem, and you want to fix it, you can't fix it if you don't face it. So the first thing you need to do is understand that you're a jealous person. And it's like an alcoholic, right? Like an alcoholic will usually say they're not an alcoholic. So, or a drug addict, right? I mean, nobody that has a problem is going to admit that they have a problem until they really come down from that high level of clouds and hit the floor and realize that either they move forward or they don't move at all. And normally that means you've sunk a little bit. My brother is in his third marriage. Well, I hope the third one is a good one. And then brother, then somebody else comes out and says brother. Good evening, love your mind. Thank you. That's funny. You said your brother and then somebody said brother. Sorry. So yeah, it's something that you definitely need to face and fix. And like I said, maybe it's jealousy, maybe it's insecurity that you don't value yourself enough. So you're attracting these kind of people into your life because that is the energy that you're emanating. Remember that we attract what we are. So don't blame your partner if they're jealous because there's a reason why you're with them. There is something you both need to learn from each other. If you see their jealousy as toxic, maybe there's something about yourself, and it could be, it's usually, not always, but it's usually not having enough value for yourself as a human being that you allow yourself in these relationships. And that's something that you need to look and fix. Okay, so always kind of like mirror out the other person. When you see somebody being jealous or you see somebody being toxic towards you and they're your relationship, they're your partner, put a mirror and kind of imagine like that mirror has a two-sided mirror, yeah? and analyze it. You know, and say, okay, why did I attract a jealous person into my life? What is, if that is a negative trait and that is a negative vibration, what do I have that might vibrate the same, but in a different environment maybe, in a different personality trait that I need to fix? It's that simple. Ahora, qué bonito, miran, hagan de cuenta de que tienen un espejo, hola Tarcisio, que tienen un espejo de... You're learning Spanish? I'm so happy you're learning Spanish. I try to speak fast, sorry. Qué bonito que si cada vez que ustedes están con una persona, hagan de cuenta de que están en una relación y en el momento, en vez de criticar a la persona que está con ustedes porque dicen, es que es re celosa, o sea, los celos, así como las inseguridades, muchas otras cosas, muchos otros retratos de la personalidad, son frecuencias, son energía. Entonces, en vez de decir, esta mina es re celosa, ¿no? Qué tóxica, haz de cuenta que tienes un espejo de doble cara enfrente tuyo, ¿no? Y esa persona, o sea, estás mirando a esa persona, pero al mismo tiempo lo tienes aquí, la otra persona está del otro lado, te estás mirando a ti. Entonces tienes que decir, bueno, si yo atraje a alguien con una energía tóxica porque veo a los celos como algo tóxico, ¿qué puede ser que tenga yo que vibre igual a esa energía que está irradiando esa persona? Y quizás en tu caso es que no te valoras lo suficiente. Quizás eres una persona más sumisa, eres una persona que te sientes de que no mereces mejor. Entonces siempre hay algo que aprender. En vez de reclamarle a la persona con la que estás, analiza la situación y di, pues si no me gusta donde estoy, ¿por qué estoy donde estoy? ¿Y qué es lo que tiene esa persona de mal que yo debo tener en otro aspecto y debo arreglar? Y ahí es cuando existe esa comunicación y pueden solitos ir arreglándose y mejorándose ustedes como personas. Y saben que al fin del cabo por ahí terminan siendo muy amigos y ni siquiera terminan en una relación. You know, maybe you end up fixing each other in that relationship. And you don't end up being together because when you find your best version of yourself in that level of that toxic relationship, you will just continue and you will move on. So it's super important for you to realize that whenever you allow someone into your life, it's for a reason and there's something about you that is attracting that person. So what do they have that you don't like that could be a mirror to the things that you should be fixing about yourself? ¿Qué es lo que tiene hasta yo mismo como que wow, sí. ¿Qué es lo que tiene la persona ¿no? que no te gusta, que puede ser un espejo a algo que tú tienes que arreglar de ti mismo. Porque todas las personas que atraes, todas las personas que son parte de tu vida en algún momento, específicamente relaciones, son una imagen muy, muy similar a la tuya. Entonces, es para aprender, es para crecer, es para no volver a estar en esas situaciones. Y bueno, usen esa relación para mejorar mutuamente y sigan adelante. All right, my loves. What time is it? We're gonna see you next time. We love you. Have an amazing evening. Thanks for being here. We will see you again tomorrow. And don't forget, if you want to watch the whole show, go to miamitv.com. We'll continue now for members only in somebeachtv.com. Bueno, amigos, nos vemos en la próxima. Ahora vamos a las cámaras grandes. Ahora sí los saludo en grande. ¿Cómo se dice? En viento en popa, ¿no? We will see you next time in Miami TV tomorrow, 7 o'clock, same time. Hope you have an amazing evening. Stay positive. Be good. ¿Qué pasó? No, seguimos acá. Be good and yeah, don't allow yourself to be in toxic relationships. The end. Así que no se permitan estar en relaciones tóxicas, chicos. Así de claro. Nos vemos mañana. Si tienen preguntas o temas, por favor, manden temas. Pueden escribirme a Twitter, @EnergyJenny. You can tweet to me. It's @EnergyJenny and give us topics. I know we have questions I haven't answered, but we will continue tomorrow answering your questions. Thank you, guys. Good night. Buenas noches.